When the Xbox 360 launched in November 2025, gamers were eager to see what the next generation of console could truly do. Alongside shooters and sports titles, one game stood out as a technical showcase for the system's graphical power and a bold evolution of a beloved racing series, Project Gotham Racing 3. Developed by Bizarre Creations, Project Gotham 3 wasn't just a sequel, it was a statement, a declaration that racing games could be both exhilarating and sophisticated, blending blistering speed with a unique sense of style. To appreciate what made Project Gotham Racing 3 special, we need to rewind a little bit. The Project Gotham Racing series started on the original Xbox, itself an evolution of Metropolis Street Racer on the Dreamcast. Unlike traditional simulation racers or pure arcade games, these titles introduce a system called Kudos, rewarding players not just for winning, but also how stylish they drove. Drifting around corners, overtaking opponents with precision, or pulling off high-speed maneuvers all racked up Kudos points, encouraging players to balance aggression with flair. By the time Project Gotham Racing 2 rolled around, the series had found its identity, but it was Project Gotham Racing 3 that would push things to a new level. With the power of the Xbox 360 behind it, Bizarre Creations aimed to build the most beautiful, immersive racing game the world had ever seen. Project Gotham Racing 3 featured meticulously modelled versions of iconic cities like New York, Tokyo, London, and Las Vegas. But these weren't generic environments. Every street, building, and landmark was recreated with astonishing attention to detail. Driving through Times Square at night on a blasting past Big Ben on a multi-million-dollar supercar felt like a dream come true. And for many players, Project Gotham Racing 3 was the first time they truly felt like they were playing a next-generation game. One of Project Gotham Racing 3's biggest draws was its focus on exotic cars. While previous entries offered a mix of everyday vehicles and sports cars, Project Gotham Racing 3 centered its garage on high-end machines. Most of us can only dream of driving them. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, McLarens, Porsches, and rare boutique cars like the Zonda or the Maserati MC12. Each car was crafted with incredible accuracy, from the gleam of the paint to the growl of the engine. The game even included detailed interiors, a rarity at the time, allowing players to race from the driver's seat and admire fully rendered dashboards and cockpits. The game's visuals were simply breathtaking in 2005, and they hold up surprisingly well even today. Reflections shimmered off the car bodies, and dynamic lighting brought city streets to life. Crowds of spectators lined the barriers, cheering players on. These details weren't just window dressing, they helped sell the fantasy of racing through living, breathing cities. But Project Gotham Racing 3 wasn't just about the looks. The game's physics engine walked a fine line between realism and accessibility. Unlike pure simulators, it didn't punish players for every mistake, but it still demanded a respect for the road and the car's handling characteristics. Each supercar felt distinct, with its own quirks and advantages. The result was a driving experience that both felt approachable and rewarding, whether you were a casual player or a hardcore racing fan. Central to Project Gotham Racing 3 gameplay was this kudos system, which returned with new refinements. Players earned kudos for stylish driving, power slides, clean overtakes, two-wheel maneuvers, and more. Stringing together combos of these moves multiplied kudos points, creating an addictive risk-reward loop. Should you take that risky corner at speed for extra kudos, or play it safe to maintain your lead? The system gave every race its own unique flow, pushing players to perfect their skills rather than simply chasing first place. Project Gotham Racing 3 also introduced new modes like Kudos Challenge, where players tackled specific skill-based objectives, and the Cone Challenges, which tested precision driving by having players slalom through cone gates at high speed. These modes added variety and depth to the single-player experience, making the game more than just a series of traditional races. Online multiplayer was another major highlight. Using Xbox Live, players could compete in head-to-head races or tournaments, comparing kudos scores on global leaderboards. For many, this was just one of the first times they've experienced smooth, competitive online racing on a console, and it set the stage for online communities centered around time trials and competitive leaderboards. One of the game's signature features was the in-game photo mode, which let players pause the action and capture stunning shots of their cars mid-race. For the first time, players could show off their driving exploits with beautifully framed images of their favourite cars against the game's detailed backdrops. Combined with the game's impressive replay system, this photo mode helped Project Gotham Racing 3 become a social experience, encouraging players to share their best moments online, an idea well ahead of its time. Project Gotham Racing 3's presentation went beyond visuals, with a stylish and polished interface that made navigating menus and browsing the cars a joy. The game's soundtrack mixed licensed rock, electronic, and hip-hop tracks with original music, keeping races energized and fresh. Players could even create custom playlists or stream their own music, a feature that highlighted the Xbox 360's multimedia capabilities. Critics lauded Project Gotham Racing 3 for its stunning graphics, responsive controls, and addictive kudos system. It received very high scores across the board and quickly became one of the best-selling early titles on the Xbox 360. Reviewers praised how it struck a balance between that realism and arcade action, creating an experience that was both thrilling and approachable, and many considered it to be the definitive racing game of the early Xbox 360 era. A game that showed off what Microsoft's new console could do in a way that was immediately impressive to anyone watching. But perhaps the greatest legacy of Project Gotham Racing 3 is how it helped shape the future of the console's racing games. The combination of exotic cars, real-world city environments, and a stylish scoring system influenced games like Forza Horizon, which would pick up the baton some years later. It also cemented Bizarre Creations' reputation as one of the most talented racing game studios of its time, although sadly the studio would eventually close in 2011 after becoming acquired by Activision. For many players, Project Gotham Racing 3 wasn't just a racing game, it was a memory. It was the first time they saw an Enzo Ferrari tear through the streets of New York in glorious high definition, the first time they experienced online racing with friends, or the first time they pulled off a perfect drift around Piccadilly Circus. It was a game that captured the excitement of a driving world's most beautiful cars in some of the world's most famous cities, and it did so with style, elegance, and a sense of fun. Today, nearly 2 decades after its release, Project Gotham Racing 3 remains a beloved classic, a snapshot of a time when racing games were embracing new technology and ideas with fearless creativity. It stands as a testament to what made the Xbox 360 launch so exciting, and a reminder of how powerful a well-crafted game can be in defining a console generation, something which seems to be missing from today's modern console launches. Whether you experienced it at launch or have discovered it years later, Project Gotham Racing 3's blend of speed, style, and spectacle is unforgettable. And for many, it's still the benchmark for what a stylish, exhilarating racing game should be. I play so many games where I just don't feel anymore like I'm any good at them. I come back and play this, and I'm sure there are people out there better than me, but it does make you feel pretty good when you fly around the track. Getting too cocky. Soundtrack was brilliant to this, wasn't it?